What comes to mind when you hear the word spam? Is it a nostalgic meal from childhood, something you ate on a camping trip, or maybe a survival food that has stood the test of time? Perhaps it's a mystery meat in a can, one that some people love while others approach with skepticism. Regardless of how you feel about it, there's no denying that spam is one of the most iconic and recognizable processed foods in the world. It has a long and fascinating history that stretches across continents, cultures, and even wars. But despite its familiarity, very few people actually know what goes into making it. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and taking you inside the spam production facility to reveal the secrets behind this legendary canned meat. From raw pork cuts to the neatly vacuum-sealed cans that line grocery store shelves, we'll explore every step of the process, uncover the technology that makes mass production possible, and even take a closer look at the cultural significance of spam across the globe. Whether you're a die-hard spam fan or someone who has never tried it, this journey through the factory will give you a whole new perspective on the world's most famous canned meat. The history and rise of spam. Before we jump into the production process, let's take a step back in time. How did spam rise from being a simple canned meat to an internationally recognized product that has found its way into millions of households? Spam was first introduced by Hormel Foods in 1937, during a time when meat preservation was a major challenge. Fresh meat spoiled quickly without refrigeration, making it difficult to transport and store for long periods. With the world still recovering from the Great Depression, there was a growing demand for affordable and long-lasting protein sources. Hormel Foods saw this as an opportunity to create something innovative, something that could provide delicious, convenient, and shelf-stable meat to the masses. The key to Spam's success was its simplicity. Unlike other processed meats that relied on a long list of additives and preservatives, Spam contained just 6 essential ingredients: pork shoulder, ham, salt, water, sugar, and sodium nitrite. This straightforward combination resulted in a product that was easy to produce, had a long shelf life, and maintained a rich, meaty flavor. While it initially gained popularity in American households, World War II played a major role in catapulting Spam to global recognition. With fresh meat being difficult to supply to soldiers in the field, Spam became a staple in military rations. It was easy to transport, required no refrigeration, and could be eaten straight from the can, making it an ideal battlefield food. As American troops carried Spam with them across Europe, Asia, and the Pacific, they introduced it to local populations, many of whom were experiencing food shortages due to the war. In places like Hawaii, South Korea, and the Philippines, Spam became an integral part of the diet, with people finding creative ways to incorporate it into their local cuisine. Fast forward to today, and over 9 billion cans of Spam have been sold worldwide. It has inspired everything from cookbooks to fast food collaborations, and even internet memes. Despite the rise of modern processed foods, Spam has remained a beloved classic, standing the test of time across generations. But how exactly is Spam made? What happens inside the factory to transform raw pork into a perfectly sealed can of meat? Let's go behind the scenes and break down the step-by-step production process. The ingredients and quality control. At the heart of Spam are 2 primary types of pork: pork shoulder and ham. These cuts were chosen not only for their flavor but also for their balance of meat and fat, which gives Spam its signature texture. Every day, tons of raw pork cuts arrive at Hormel's production facilities. Before the meat even enters the production line, it undergoes a rigorous quality control process. Hormel Foods has strict standards to ensure that only the highest quality pork makes it into the final product. Quality control begins with visual inspections. Trained professionals examine each batch of pork to check for any discoloration, inconsistencies, or imperfections. Meat that doesn't meet Hormel's standards is rejected before it even reaches the production line. Once the pork passes the first round of screening, it goes through temperature checks to make sure it has been stored correctly during transportation. Maintaining the right temperature is crucial for food safety. Even a slight variation in temperature could lead to bacterial growth, which is unacceptable in a high-volume production facility. After the meat passes the temperature checks, some production facilities take quality control a step further by using X-ray scanners. These high-tech machines can detect foreign objects or inconsistencies in the meat, ensuring that only the safest and purest pork moves forward in the process. With quality control complete, the raw pork is ready to be processed and transformed into the smooth, uniform mixture that gives Spam its distinctive texture. Meat processing and mixing. The first major transformation in the Spam making process is grinding the pork. This is done using industrial grinders, which break down the pork into a fine, uniform consistency. This step is essential to ensure that Spam has a smooth and even texture and it's finally cooked inside the can. Once the meat has been ground, it is transferred into massive mixing vats. This is where it's combined with the other ingredients that give Spam its flavor, texture, and preservative qualities. Salt is added not just for flavor, but also as a natural preservative that helps to extend Spam's shelf life. Water is mixed in to create the right consistency, while sugar balances the saltiness by adding a subtle hint of sweetness. Potato starch plays a crucial role in binding the mixture together, ensuring that the final product holds its shape. Without it, the meat might not maintain its firm, sliceable consistency. One of the most important ingredients in Spam is sodium nitrite. This compound is responsible for preserving the meat's signature pink color and preventing bacterial growth. Without sodium nitrite, Spam would lose its appealing color and spoil much faster. All of these ingredients are precisely measured using automated computerized systems to ensure that every batch of Spam is consistent in taste and texture. The mixing process is carefully timed so that the ingredients blend together perfectly before moving on to the next stage of production, canning. Canning the meat. Once the meat mixture is fully blended, it needs to be packaged quickly to maintain freshness. Thousands of empty Spam cans move along fast-moving conveyor belts, ready to be filled with the pink meat mixture. Each can is precisely filled to ensure that the product remains uniform in weight and size. This level of consistency is key in mass production, as every can of Spam on store shelves needs to have the same quality and portioning. After the meat is packed into the cans, they go through a vacuum sealing process, which removes excess air. This step is crucial because it prevents oxidation, which could affect the flavor and freshness of the meat. At this point, the cans are sealed shut, but the Spam inside is still raw. That's about to change in the next stage of production, cooking and sterilization. Cooking and sterilization, the magic happens inside the can. Unlike fresh meats that are cooked before packaging, Spam goes through a unique process. It's cooked inside the can itself. This method, known as retort cooking, ensures that the product remains shelf-stable for years without requiring refrigeration. Once the vacuum-sealed cans leave the filling station, they are transported to a massive hydrostatic cooker, a towering structure designed for high-volume food sterilization. The cans are carefully loaded onto a continuous conveyor system that moves them through multiple heating chambers. Inside the hydrostatic cooker, the temperature gradually increases, reaching a precise level needed to fully cook the meat inside while simultaneously sterilizing the contents. The entire cooking process is scientifically calculated to destroy any potential bacteria or microorganisms while preserving the flavor and texture of the meat. And now the next time you see a can of Spam on the shelf, you'll know exactly what went into making it. Would you try Spam, or do you already have a favorite way to eat it? Let us know in the comments.